Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News in Shinrin-yoku, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Wednesday, April 14th, 10:30 p.m. Mountain Time 2021. The models are in, and they're not funny. And that's the big story. Heavy snow in the Rockies in the Northeast like a beast. And let's get there. April chill may last into next week in the plains as the West Coast heats up. Keep calm. It's grand solar minimum boom time. Snow in April, like a schmapril, parts of Massachusetts could get 6+ inches of the global warming goodness. Can you imagine? Snow on the way to Michigan. And yes, some spots, well, it falls on the ground. Spring nor'easter to drop snow across New York, New England this week, like a tweak. And I am looking at a very nice dress. Well, actually, I'm looking at the snow total. 6 to 12? 12 to 18 in Bennington? Hello, Vermont. You've just made the record books. Steady rain and wet snow coming to New Hampshire for Friday. Bye-bye day. Several inches of snow accumulation possible in Westerfield, Whitefield, Lebanon, Concord, Jaffrey, Keene. 4 to 8 in New Hampshire. Hello. Next week, Gulf Coast to remain the target of torrential rain, gusty storms, tornadoes, and loss of life. And that's unfortunate. Since the middle of March, parts of the southern U.S. have been inundated by rounds of drenching rain and pummeled by severe weather, large hail, tornadoes. Some areas even reported rainfall amounts that are greater than 300% of normal since March. Those looking for a break from the persistent wet conditions, well, that's not happening, at least not in the near future. Here's the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, which is showing us that it's going to be cool. Who's a fool? Over most of the North Americas, which is there's only one, so most of North America will be cold April 20th to the 24th, when a lot of snow is going to fall in a lot of unfortunate places. Now, giant hail pummels parts of the Texas Hill Country Monday evening, and well, we just got the video. And Pinpoint radar is going to show us if we have the bandwidth, which we probably don't. It'll just spin there for like a decade. But I digress. We're going to wait for that to load. No, we're not. We're actually, oh, there it is. It's coming up. So you can see massive amounts, hundreds of hail spots, and then boom, just west of Llano in Llano, Texas, boom, and then it's over. It's that quick, like a tick-tick. And let's just pause that jiffy. And let's look at some baseball-sized hail in Texas Hill Country. Oh, that's loud. Holy macaroni. That was loud. I mean, that's like, that hurts my ears loud. There it comes again. Let's hurt our ears. Good stuff there in Llano. Destructive gorilla hair at the Llano Cowboy Church, 7 miles west of Llano, Texas. This guy is like insane. No, first of all, when hail starts falling more than 2 inches, you don't accelerate and drive faster and break your windshield more. And that's exactly what this guy does. This is like some of the most insane footage we're about to see. He's like, yeah!
It's bigger!
Break it!
It's even bigger!
Break my windshield! Break it till it's all broken! And then the back's broken out! Ow!
Wow!
Wow! I just broke the whole thing! I'm gonna speed up so I break more of it! Wow!
That's my window blown out! Here it comes! Here it comes! 12115!
This guy is hoping for Armageddon. I think he's just driving into Jesus there. Whew. Wow, that got me. And then I feel sorry for these tomato plants. Look at these. Hello! Those poor little fellers. Now look at some of these quarter-size hailstones. The unfortunate thing is people don't understand scale, and they're not actually quarter size. They're much larger. Moving on from hail, holy hail, thunderstorms and flooding along the Gulf Coast. Winter returns in the central Rockies. A stalled front along the west central Gulf Coast, of the most, will contribute to a few severe thunderstorms and heavy rain with flooding over the next couple of days. Meanwhile, a vigorous system will produce heavy snow across the central Rockies into the high plains in the next few days. Did you support your local farmer? Do you even know what that is? Do you even know where they are? I think I just got a scar. A vigorous system will produce heavy snow across the central Rockies into the high plains next few days. Finally, a critical fire weather threat in the Pink region is expected to cross the Four Corners region through Thursday, which is our Thursday. Here's the flooding warnings and watches in the southeast like a beast. They're saturated down there in Louisiana, Mississippi, and even tippy touches of the Florida Panhandle. So keep a close eye on that. Frost and freeze warnings out in the central regions here, southern Iowa, northern Missouri, parts of Illinois. It's Illinois, I know. Kiss my Kansas, and eastern Nebraska also can kiss my Alaska. So that's what's happening. And let's get to the models, the snow models, the fun ones. When are we sledding? Let's walk it through. Boom! You're sledding up in, where is that? In somewhere in Canada. Who even knows what that area is? What area is that? It's just, oh, that's Ontario. So scary. Here we are in Wyoming. You're going to be sledding in the morning, Thursday, April 15th. Snow moving in. Pump it and pump it till the entire state is covered in the pump of the global warming dump, which we call snow. Ho, ho. Nebraska's going to be kicking up a little bit, but here we see an explosion out in northeastern Colorado. That's going to be record-breaking. And that's coming through Saturday, which is not your Schmatterday. Now, here it is. Here's the problem. Friday through Saturday, I have to go over, can you believe this? I have to go over Wolf Creek Pass during a major winter event in April to get to the San Luis Valley to give out free seeds and cannabis to hundreds of people. Whew. And I actually have to pay for a spot to give away stuff for free. Isn't that insane? But I digress. What I'm trying to do is not die getting there, because there is going to be, 12, 16 inches of snow on the pass while I go over in the morning through Saturday. So I've decided to rent a room on the other side of the valley and leave Friday night, because let's just walk it through here. Here's Friday night. It's still a little clear. And then Saturday morning, the snow moves into the region. So I don't want to go over the Wolf Creek Pass Saturday morning to give away free cannabis and seeds, because the snow is going to continue to pummel in this region through Sunday, which is our fun day. Snow moves into Utah. Here we are on Monday. Snow is going to dip all the way down into really quenched regions. There'll be moisture moving through Arizona and New Mexico, much needed. Some snow moving into the California region, which is good news. Thumbs up. Here's your Tuesday, which is your lose day. But let's focus now, because I focus on the west, because that's where I live, which is the best, by the way. But the northeast is going to start picking up heavy snow Thursday through Friday. There it is. Here's your Saturday totals. By Saturday, 16 inches in Vermont. Hello! Man, and Connecticut is going to be wondering, what state are we in? All right, so Saturday, April 17th, even still more snow up in Maine. It's insane. Maine's going to be the least affected, and the biggest effect here is southern Vermont, southern New Hampshire, and northern Connecticut, which is actually Connecticut, because I'm from the Northeast. Like a beast. I'm from Philly. Don't call me Billy, bitch. I don't even know what that means. But look at the forecast. This is through May 1st. It's looking a little iffy for planting in North and South Dakota, with a black hole forming on the state line. That means 36 inches of the global warming goodness in May. Hey, experts. Oh, disregard this. U.S. faces 65% chance of above normal hurricane season. I told you, Florida. I told you. My God, that was racist. Soufrière, St. Vincent volcano update. Strong explosive phases continued 24 hours ago. Nothing's happened since. Maybe while I'm talking, there's something happening. I've been monitoring this baby like my bunghole. So there's that. It's a very close relationship. Another strong explosive phase started last night at 20:30 local time and lasted for 40 minutes, producing a plume that again reached close to 30,000 feet. Pyroclastic flows and hot, turbulent avalanches in the same tracks as the earlier ones from 48 hours ago have reached the ocean, and they're steaming off and creating lays and haze and other insane things that no one should be breathing on that in that country, unfortunately. But that's just how it happens. Now, pyroclastic flows are hot, turbulent avalanches of collapsing material from the eruption column. They travel down the Rabaka River towards the east coast, and mud flows were observed in Sandy Bay yesterday. Hey. The activity seems to follow a pulsating pattern like we were the first to report on, and now everyone's gobbling it up like they thought of it. That there was a pattern every 24 hours at sunrise when this baby popped. Prior to the explosive phases, the volcano is comparably calm, but small volcanic earthquakes under the edifice are picking up, and that's not the only place where earthquakes are picking up under the edifice, and we'll get to that. God, I hate when my edifice itches. Cinnabung volcano puffing and passing. Look at that big ripper. Holy shit, what a bong hit. The explosive eruption of the volcano continues. It's characterized by occasional Vulcanian-type explosions, like the one that occurred yesterday. The volcano produced a moderate dense ash plume, which reached 12,000 feet, 2 miles, in styles. Taal volcano, Luzon, Philippines. SO2 emission rapidly increases, and this is coupling with huge seismic swarms. I don't know if you know what I know, but I know what I know that I'm about to tell you that you should know what I know. The seismic activity of the volcano continues at elevated levels, which means they're higher than normal. That's the definition of elevated. The seismic instrument recorded 383 volcanic tectonic earthquakes over the past 24 hours, including 238 periods of elevated amplitude volcanic tremor. Whew. That sounds really bad. They lasted 1 to 12 minutes. That's when so many quakes are happening at the same time that no one knows how to determine what's happening. It's what we call volcanic tremor. This indicates elevated fluid movement of gas, water, and possibly magma under the surface, like a schmurfus. And that means it's boom time, kids. Yes, in addition, sulfur dioxide emissions increased rapidly to 1,886 tons a day on the 12th of April. As emissions, steam-laden plumes rose approximately 300 meters above the fumarolic vents. That's just a fancy word for saying shit's about to go boom. And it could be, well, doom. Taal volcano, the history is explosive and dangerous and pervasive and ongoing and happening again and again and again. And when I looked into the historical documentation, I saw very unfortunate statistics here. A VEI 6 is possible at this caldera in historical times. Just 5,580 years ago, this baby went VEI 6. And based on historical documentations, it has not stopped puffing and passing since 1754, the last major event, VEI 4, 1749, a VEI 4, 1716, a VEI 4. Collectively, those three would be VEI 5. VEI 3 in 1911 during the centennial minimum. VEI 4, 1965 during, yes, the Ice Age scare. So this all has to do with cosmic rays. Another cosmic ray volcano back here, VEI 444, all Maunder minimum. And God knows what minimum was happening back 3580 BC. 5,580 years ago. 5,506. You know what I'm saying. Jesus Christmas. Math at this hour. It's like a tower of power. Eruption on March 2021 on the Reykjanes Peninsula. Fagradalsfall volcano. As predicted, the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, Schlavazel has opened, and the fissure is now officially erupting in 6 places along the stretch of multiple kilometers, as we predicted a month or earlier. I think it's been months now. This shit's been happening. All the predictions are coming true so often and so long ago. It's all blending together. But it's happening. The rift has ripped in the Glendon-Galder Valley on Fagradisfall Mountain, and it is now erupting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Unlocking like a zipper. I might have even said that. I could potentially be quoted. Here we are at Iceland Geology, the latest update, which shouldn't happen for another 10 days, but it's happening because an earthquake swarm far north of Kobliensi Island. This is far north of the Tyrnus fracture zone in northern Iceland, up in the North Atlantic. And we're not even getting imagery. There it is. So the Reykjanes Peninsula is down here where all this earthquake activity is happening. The volcanism is happening here. And the mid-ocean ridge moves up through here and turns through the Tyrnus fracture zone and goes straight up through the North Atlantic, where we have a seismic swarm under 2 to 4 kilometers of ocean water, which is probably another volcanic vent pushing up, taking names. Because of its remote location, the earthquake swarm is not possible to know what's actually going on there unless a boat goes out there and finds pumice, which we could be seeing in the next 24 to 48 hours. This area is also under an ocean that is 2 to 4 kilometers deep, which I just said. So if we could just pause this for a second and I could cough. So the largest recorded earthquake had a magnitude of 3.5, but it possibly was larger because of the distance from the SIL network. The magnitude is underestimated, according to Icelandic officials, according to Iceland Geology. I did record the earthquake on the only seismometers, and it showed a lot of surface wave activity suggesting a larger magnitude than 3.5. Okay, fair point, and we take it. And we run over here at the Reykjanes Ridge, and we see that Iceland is showing on the seismometers. Yes, there is an uptick. Oh, yes, a huge swarm. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15 earthquakes, 14, if we just exclude this one, 14 earthquakes above 2.5 magnitude. 14 earthquakes above 2.5 magnitude in 24 hours. That will be at the USGS map. Let's just go check that. For accuracy, and boom! Take a look at that. Not a single earthquake shown north of Iceland or on Iceland. So, as I was just showing you, you see how the mid-ocean ridge comes through here, turns north, and goes through the Tyrnus fracture zone? So, if we were to go up here, I'm going to show you where that seismic swarm just happened so you can get up to speed. And you have a better grasp on what's happening over there at Iceland Geology. So as the mid-ocean ridge turns through the continent and goes through this staggering stage steps, this would be equivalent to the Cascadia fracture zone, where there's little setbacks in the mid-ocean ridge region where it's supposed to be subducting under the North American plate. Same thing here. This would be that Cascadia fracture zone. I don't really know what they call it over there right at the second because I didn't parse that up or look at it for the video, but that's exactly where that's happening right now. So you learned something. That's not the first thing you learned from tonight's video. Navy captures footage of pyramid-shaped UFOs and orbs. This is not the stuff that we've seen before. This is new stuff, and they're claiming it's UFOs, and we have the video, so let's take a look. You know, I was really interested in looking at this, so bear with me as we look at this together. All right, there's the object in question. It's going to show up right here. And let's take a look at what it looks like. Oh! All right, so the first thing I want you to notice is that it's triangular, like all of our stealth warships for the last 30 years, starting with the F-114A and moving all the way up through the complete assortment of stealth aircraft. And the second thing I want you to notice is that it blinks because it has a light on it. And this is not a UFO. This is just a bunch of idiots, including Fox News, and I imagine Tyler over at, anyway, not a UFO. You just don't know. Oh, wait, they're about to be flying in a triangular formation of 3, just like a military exercise. Let's wait for that. Wait for it. There's 1, 2, 3. Not a UFO, kids. Let's look at it again. 1, 2, 3. Flying in formation. This is a military exercise with stealth jets that are blinking. Not a UFO. I don't care what Tyler says. I don't care what Rex Bear says. He probably didn't say anything about this. I'm pretty sure Rex, after I showed him this evidence, would say the same thing I'm saying. Common sense, Occam's razor. Couch potatoes are more than twice as likely to die from COVID-19. Occam's razor. Vitamin D deficiency kills during all coronaviruses, and this is no different. COVID-19, if you don't go outside, you don't breathe fresh air, you don't have access to the public, you don't rub shoulders with people, you don't touch dirt, you don't plant food, you don't eat healthy, you don't eat organic, you don't have micronutrients in your diet, and you've been living for 30 years on Chicken McNuggets and the couch, well, yeah, of course you're dead. If I fart in your mouth, you're dead. Did I just say that? Can I even say that? I'm probably demonetized. The impact of solar variability on climate parameters. New paper coming out is not new at all. In fact, for the last 20 years, scientists worldwide have been shoving this information down the neck of academics, but no one wants to listen or take it up because the global warming paradigm has taken over all of science for 30 years, since the 90s. But if you look at the information, which is staring you right in the face like a disgrace, but if you're a dogmatist, please don't look at the data. We're looking at the last 10,000 years on Earth. Here is today, right here, maybe 10 years ago, and here's 10,000 years ago. In yellow, you have the sunspot numbers. In red, we have the temperature proxy. They seem to follow each other exactly. It could just be a coincidence, though. The temperature is dropping. And then I don't have the other graph up. It could be a coincidence. Damn it. I have to go get that graph. Wait a minute. Like putting a square peg in a round hole. We're back. And we found the graph that we're trying to show you here. This is the most recent data we have from 1840 to 2020, which is the peak of solar max. It's the solar max. That's grand solar minimum peakity peak. It's the longest they can keep it up. They're keeping it up, but it's fallen off the charts, and we're going to get to that. But here you can see in green the sunspot number, grand maximum, highest in 4,000 years, and the surface temp in red in degrees C. And they're following each other lockstep. So the last 150 years, the last 10,000 years, it doesn't matter. The sun controls the temperature and the climate. The sun controls the temperature and the climate. And man does not control the temperature. The sun does. Because red is the sun. Red is the temperature and yellow is the sun. Green is the sun and red is the temperature. Hello? And now sunspots are dropping off a cliff in the last decade. And here we are at baseline. March 2021 temperature data shows us we're at the same temperature we were back in the 80s on Earth, which is a rapid shift from the global warming temperatures in 2020. We're back down here at 0.02. And we're dropping back down to centennial minimum levels, the Maunder minimum levels. Just as predicted. When we started the channel 5 years ago, that's what we said. And that's where we are. Har har. Innermost Earth has another layer in its core. Scientists discover. Oh my God, they're going on with these core layers. Here's the paper. Evidence for the innermost inner core. Al Gore's a bore. Robust parameters search for radially varying anisotropy using the neighborhood algorithm. There it is. He's right in there. Al Gore rhythm. He's in there. And the anisotropy is what they're looking for. So they're using statistical analysis to prove what they cannot see. Period. After 48 years search, physicists discover ultra-rare triple glue ball particle. Who's a triple glue ball now? Now let's get to some real shit. None of that fairy tale stuff. CNN director. We worked to oust Trump. We created propaganda, used fear to pass climate agenda. This is coming from a technical director right below the director of CNN, and this is broken by Veritas, and I love the work they do there. Project Veritas, well, let's take a look at just a little bit of it and see if they demonetize us.
Focus was to get Trump out of office. Without saying it, that's what it was.
Trump was his hand was shaking or whatever, and he was losing it. He's unfit. We were creating a story there. So that's I think that's propaganda.
So I'm standing here at 30 Hudson Yards. Warner Media is in right there. That's CNN's corporate headquarters. We're in New York City. Jim Sciutto just walked out. Funny enough, I asked him about the videos we have just obtained of a CNN director, Charlie Chester, on tape for. We've heard that CNN is the most trusted name in news, but a CNN director is on tape telling us that they're propaganda, helping a certain political candidate, employees admitting what we've always known to be true. This time, it's on tape.
Look what we did. We got Trump out. I am 100% going to say it. And I 100% believe it, that if it wasn't for CNN, I don't know that Trump would have got voted out. I really don't think so.
Oh, really? I think if COVID hadn't happened, it wouldn't have mattered what covered, and Trump would still be in office.
I believe I came to CNN because I wanted to be a part of that.
So Chester says that CNN is responsible for getting Trump out of office and helping Biden through his term. Listen to this tape. Chester and Hoffman believe CNN managed to get Trump out of office, their words, and Chester calls CNN propaganda.
Yeah, I mean, like Trump, we did it. Like when Trump was, I don't know, like his hand was shaking or whatever. We brought in like so many medical people to like all tell a story that like it was all speculation. That he was like neurological damage, like that he was losing it. He's unfit to, whatever. We were creating a story there that we didn't know anything about. So that's I think that's propaganda. We had nothing else to run with at that time. We were like just taking shots off the bow, just hoping.
Wait a minute. He thinks that's propaganda? How stupid of a puppet is this director that they hired? And now this has been all speculation for 2 decades that the people that have they've put in place in these high positions are puppets. And he doesn't even know if making up a story is propaganda. He's like, I think it is. I think that's what it is. Or is it actually journalism? Is that reporting? Or is it propaganda? I mean, if this guy isn't fired in the morning, well, then we live in a Biden world, which is based on completely fabricated stories and big walls, period. Total nonsense. Fact check, COVID-19 vaccines won't cause a zombie apocalypse. Now, if you've heard about the fact checkers, checking the fact checkers, they're 89% incorrect. And they say that it's false, and then you go down and read it, and 99% is true except 1%. And they're like, it's false. So if the fact check is that COVID-19 won't cause a zombie apocalypse, and we live in an opposite world, what say you? Well, according to this prick, We're all being eugenicide. Yes, yes. One at a time. It's going to be fine. Now, as soon as I see this in the sky in a year or two, I'll know the propaganda is over. And it's back to the wilderness, back to the woods, back to the way your grandmother told you it was. You are what you eat. Work hard to survive. You're going to learn how to supply your own water and food. It's not going to be coming from a store. There won't be any internet. It will be your neighbors and your local community that will help you rise up and survive and thrive in the future. And this is not a doctored picture. This is something happening in the last year. The flight of the Phoenix. We reported on it, but I can't show it to you because it has way too much bandwidth. But this is happening right over Norway, and it was the flight of the Phoenix. The Thunderbird. We've seen this petroglyph time immemorial, and we'll see more this weekend while we travel to Moonhouse Ruin and Painted Hand Pueblo and bring you along. On Magnetic Reversal News and Oppenheimer Ranch Project, we're going to take you along on one of the largest logistical trips that I've ever planned to a ruin. And that's a fact, Jack. Hope you got something out of the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We love you. Be safe. Share this video with like-minded people. Thanks to all our Patreons, our one-time donors. Those of you that sent me envelopes recently, you will be getting huge amounts of seeds and gratitude. To Angela, I don't know how to pronounce your last name, but you're from Ontario. A wonderful artist. You're going to be getting an amazing package from us soon. I leave in 48 hours to the San Luis Valley Seed Exchange. I do not have the links up, but I will link it below. So join us there in the snow in April. Be safe. We love you.